Hello everyone and welcome here. Finally, the video you asked me about for a really long time. The school merchant PTB analysis. So, I played more games in public games in the PTB, of course, like the PTB usually is not a good way to see if changes are going to be actually balanced or unbalanced, if something is strong, if something is weak, because like a lot of people don't take the game seriously. You know, also you don't understand fully something of a killer or of a perk immediately during the PTB. But I have to say that in this case, like, some things went kinda decently, because like many of the games that I played in the PTB were against people who actually tried. I could figure out some of the early mistakes I was making with the power. Of course, when the killer will be released on live servers, I'll still have to adapt to the new changes. But what can I say? Like, I like this new version of the school merchant power. Like, it's total new power, basically. Really close to what I used to play with the randomized strobes and geographical readout in the live servers, mainly randomized strobes. That if you follow me for a long time, like, you know that randomized strobes, in my opinion, were what made the use of the drones more interesting outside of protecting a gen, you know? So I'm happy about these changes. Also, you get undetectable for 8 seconds when you deploy a drone, but like the most important thing is like how lock-on actually works now. Or basically, lock-on now activates after that a survivor is scanned directly by the beams of a drone for 3 times. And if they are fully healed, like, they get a health status and the sprint from the lost health status, of course. If they are already injured, they go in deep wound, and every time they are scanned, they go lower for 6 seconds and a reduced speed of 10%. So basically, it's the double of what we used to have with the randomized strobes. Like, the only condition is, like, they have to be detected directly by the beams of the drones. Now, the drones at the beginning are in silent mode. It's a really complex power, like, there is so much behind it, and I think that a lot of the negative reviews about it are because, like, the full meaning of all of these are not understood. And I mean, it's fine, like, I think that this is a power that with time you're gonna optimize with the positioning, timing, and etc, etc, etc. Also, she's different, like, you don't place a drone mid-chase, but like, you need a bit of a mix, like, between presetting and placing mid-chase. And like, the drones now I have 2 modes. One is a silent mode with the beams going kinda slow, and the other one is the scouting mode. After that a survivor is detected, like, the drone stays in scouting mode and the beams go faster while rotating. The survivors can basically deactivate the drones every time, they don't get penalties, etc, etc, etc. Now, this is really interesting and really cool, because like, it opens up to many possibilities. First of all, like, the survivors have to deactivate the drones, because like, if you trap a loop really well, and the survivors go there during a chase, they risk to get slowed down, you know? So, or to get even injured. The lock-on doesn't decay, this is another important thing, so basically you can chase a survivor, get a stack of lock-on, and then breaking a pallet and drop the chase. And like, you build up the lock-on the more you play the game. Like, there are many things that you have to do with the school merchant, like, she's a killer who requires more macro management, more... how can I say, like, more experience with the positioning of the drone to get a better view of these on the most important spots during a loop. And also you have to force the chase in a rotation that pushes actually the survivor at running towards the beams and not on the same direction of the beams. Like, if the beams, for example, go from right to the left, like you have to push the survivor running the loop from the left to the right. In this way, the survivor will run directly to the beam, and like they are gonna be detected. It's a really complex power, but like for me was kinda easier to understand how to try to get advantage from this. Like I'm gonna show you a game that I played in the PTB that against really good people, people with more than 10k hours, and people who knew what they were doing. And like I'm still adapting, so there are gonna be some mistakes. I was playing still a bit chill. It's like this is a phase of adapting, because before everything, like I have to find a build, like or the meta build. Like basically, Pain Resonance Pop was my slowdown combo. It worked really well with the former School Merchant because like you had a lot of macro informations, so I knew what gen I had to kick with Pop. Now this is not possible, so like you need something for tracking, and like I have to understand what's the perk I want to use for tracking. At the moment I was trying Ultimate Weapon, that in my opinion is the best tracking perk in the game, but I think that Thrilling Tremors can work really well too, to be honest. Like it can help a lot with the value from Popcast the Whistle, basically. So basically, one of the things that I have to find is the info perk. The perk for Chase that you can use are Bamboozle, Brutal Strength, and Coup de Grace, in my opinion, is a really good perk, considering the new power. Especially if you are playing in public lobbies. As a slowdown, like, I don't know if you're going for Pop, Pain, but like a gen slowdown is needed in this meta. Like, we are speaking of meta builds, of course, then you can play whatever build you want for fun, but like... Here I'm considering something that can help you at winning if you want to win, of course. Because, okay, playing chill, but like, not everyone is chilling, so if you run a stronger build, you have more of a possibility to actually have a good game, even against those teams. So I was considering between Pop and Pain. I tried the Sloppy Butcher. I think that the Sloppy Butcher with this School Merchant is really good. Because, like, if they don't heal, like, it's still good for you. Like, having them and getting a Pro Trap to get the Indred, like, if the drone is in the right position, is a huge value. And, like, you know, I won many games with randomized drops that were basically the half of the power of the new School Merchant power. So, this is the thing. Now, about the add-ons, of course they reworked a lot of add-ons, some add-ons looking more interesting, like expired batteries, and this one, it recently unpublished manuscript. Other ones, in my opinion, lost their importance, like, for example, in my opinion, this is not really good now. I didn't like it even before, but like, I think that now is even more not necessary. Geographical readout is still really good, if not better. Prototype rotor can be really important. But I don't know what to think about it. Randomized strobes is half decent, but like I think it's not really necessary. This looks like a really strong add-on, in my opinion, like a VTP, like giving an extra inert of 3%, basically you counter made for this. And like this one is really good as well, because like you give exhausted once that they get the Cloud Trap, so they are still going to consider the Cloud Trap a problem if they get injured. The two skill check add-on, well, I never liked these, but like are less threatening than before, also because the survivors can work on a gen while a drone is on it, because the drone is not gonna detect the survivors who are standing still. And like, let me see. There are other add-ons that I consider decent, like this, in my opinion, can be interesting, but like this one is needed, because like the new cooldown, if they are gonna keep everything from the PTB, is the only thing I didn't really like, because like it makes the game feeling a bit slower, and like, you know, as a killer you want to have more control on your power. So with this add-on, like you basically solve a big part of the problems that I noticed on the School Merchant in the PTB. I really like the work they made on the Addons, by the way. This one can be interesting because a longer flow trap means that you have a longer time of getting value of your power. This one can be interesting because, like, remember that you still get the haste for survivors who are detected by the radar, so basically you have that 3% of haste for an extra second. So I think that the meaning of this is kinda underrated. Like, you have two side effects that people are not really considering, but I think that this one, or at least for what I saw in the PTB, is probably the strongest add-on she has. Like, we became the original School Merchant, where Ultrasonic Trap Speaker was one of the most popular add-ons because it used to give the dissolution effect with the older version of the oldest version of the School Merchant, and now it has a totally new effect that is really, really good. Decreases survivor scanline immunity duration by 25%. This is something that not a lot of people actually understood from the PTB, but basically the scanline immunity duration is when a survivor is detected by a scanline, like they have a sort of immunity for a bit. Now, with this add-on, like, you are able to actually get more lock-on stacks during the same loop a lot faster. Like, I don't want to exaggerate, but it's almost like the scanline immunity doesn't exist. Like, this is really good because, like, basically just two turns around the loop, like, allow you to get a claw trap or to get an extra slowdown on the survivors. So, in the PTB, if the situation is gonna stay this for the live release of the School Merchant, my suggested add-ons are this one 100% and this one 100%. Because that cooldown... like, especially if they keep the cooldown for removing a drone. Like, I think that kind of cooldown has to be removed. But while the cooldown for placing a drone is fair. But, like, if the duration of the cooldown for just placing a drone is gonna stay the same, like, I think that this add-on is really good. Because, like, it allowed you to play in a lot more dynamic way without having to wait too much between the things. Because, like, I think that is... the main problem with the School Merchant. I'm gonna share with you the game that I spoke about earlier. I repeat, my feelings about the new School Merchant are mainly positive. And with a few changes, like removing the cooldown for when you recall a drone, and maybe increasing a bit the beam rotation, and decreasing a bit the cooldown. Like, not even a lot, but like... I wanted the gameplay feeling more dynamic than what it is right now. I think that the killer is gonna be in a good spot. Like, I don't agree with the people who say that she's the weakest killer in the game right now. I don't agree with all the negative sides, but because I think that the power in chase is actually underrated. Like, I repeat, like, it's like the double of randomized strobes. The randomized strobes that we had till now. So... this is a really strong power, in my opinion, in chase. And, like, if you know the drone's positioning to get the most value of this, like, the School Merchant can be really oppressive in chase. But not uncounterable, that's the cool thing. So, that, like, removing the drones is gonna be important, and, like, that's gonna be a sort of time waster for her. Because, like, if you don't work on the drones only because, like, these are not on the gens, like, the chases are gonna be a lot more painful for the survivors. So basically you are gonna have this sort of interaction that is gonna be really interesting, and, like, a lot of coordination that I don't know if solo queue is ready for that, but I think that it's gonna be really, really interesting to see the new metagame of the School Merchant, and I'm all in for that. I spoke too much. Enjoy the game, and let me know what you think about the new School Merchant rework. Okay, let's try the placement here. I don't know if I want to place one there. Hi. Why didn't I check the locker before? Okay, game. That was a hit. Fine. I have to tag you. Like, I ain't gonna tag. Camping pallets more. I 8 minutes for this. Okay, you have to tunnel in this game. They are tryharding like it's a tournament grand final. Can I play Addons? Thank you. I'm gonna tunnel this guy. Of course he's greedy. With the made for this the dart, of course you're greedy. They reset themselves. We remove this. Not a very good map. We got to Bali from that drone. We are gonna negate the dead hard in this way. Except by the hard.